Okay, every single Easter egg reference and hidden feature in the Daily Commute. I'll make this fast. You could go here and AFK for coins. We're not going here. You could speak to Hobo Joe. I don't think many people notice, but he could tell you some facts, especially very cool ones. There's a secret area behind this elevator where you can see Ronnie James Dio, an Amish man, and 3 people from the Spanish Inquisition. And the maze thing, you can actually get to the end of it. And at the end of it, there's a thing referencing that is the very first station I have ever made. I will continue to do this list in order of when I made the stations. In the second obby station, there is Hobo Joe having a picnic behind the train. You can actually go back there and meet him, but I don't care. There's also an old version of the station that I made long before anybody actually played the game. It looks a lot more primitive, but I suppose I could put in a screenshot of it. Also, the water moves up and down. These cavemen have official canon names. It goes Oog, Boog, and Goog. I don't know why I came up with them like that, but I just did. Also, if you step on the fire, your head catches on fire. This is very important for later on. This is a disco level. The DJ has a shop where you could buy DJ item stuff. This is a picture of Ghost of Christmas Past from Arsenal on the computer. I don't know why. Actually, I know exactly why. It's because she's a babe. There also was a dance brick that accompanied this floor long before I think the game even released. But I decided that since you couldn't stop dancing, well, I had to remove it. This station is officially called the Dematerializer in the files. It is one of the first stations I made in which you had to teleport away from the actual parent train. This is the leak spin station. Also, I don't know if many people noticed, but there's leaks that drop on you and killed me instantly. The earliest video on my channel, in fact, is in relation to the leak spin video, or this boss fight, and it's very primitive stages, which is the very first video of the Daily Commute that I actually have on my channel. I believe it was taken all the way back about in April 2020. Yeah, I did not actually whitelist it until later on. The developer is in the game. The pirates turn into the Pittsburgh Pirates, because why not? If you look behind here, you can see that there is quite a few Easter eggs. First of all, Hobo Joe is reading a book. The book is entitled Aren't Most Pirates Illiterate? As you can see on the shelf here. There's also some Daily Commute trains in a bottle, and that globe is of Ohio on all surfaces. Ah yes, the washing machine level. So if you actually fall back here underneath the train, you can see there's Hobo Joe with a pie. The lyrics are from Don Henley's song Dirty Laundry, and if you go up to Mr. Hobo Joe, you can press E to take the item. In your inventory, you will see that there is a pie item. This is an item that will forever stay in your inventory, never to leave. Also, if you jump into the washing machine with fire on your head, as you can see, the fire extinguishes itself. This level all in itself is a reference to a game made by me called The Baby. If you go in here, you can see there's a radio that automatically plays. This is in stark contrast to the actual game The Baby, in which you have to activate the radio itself. However, that would not fit in a Daily Commute level. As you can see, The Baby appears. However, if the developer is in the game, as I am, The Baby becomes Hobo Joe. This level in the game files is called Flat Stanley. If the anvil falls on you, you go flat. Also, if your render's up high enough and you look out the window, you can actually see the lobby. Fun fact about the item Can of Green Something. If you're flat and you drink the Can of Green Something, you become thick again. As you can see in the control room, there is Hobo Joe managing the controls, ergo killing everybody in the subway unless you escape in time. This is also the first level to release while the Daily Commute was a public game. This level doesn't really have that many Easter eggs in it. However, one fun fact about it is my favorite level that I've ever made. I had a good time making it, and I think it's just a fun little level. The vacuum is called Herbert Hoover in reference to both the Hoover vacuum and the President Herbert Hoover. There's even a badge of Herbert Hoover on the thing. It also has Hobo Joe and affiliates incorporated on it, which is kind of a lore thing. I don't know. There's also Hobo Joe watching you from the door. I hate this level. No ifs, ands, or buts. I hate it. This is a cave lobby. Nothing much going on here. I think the water rises and falls. No, it doesn't. There's really no Easter eggs in this station, but it's just kind of harmless. It's a fun little obby. It's also kind of forgotten about amongst myself. I don't know. Ah yes, the volcano obby. This level was made by 100% by accident. I made it, but then I just kind of was like, you know what, I'm putting it into game anyways. I had a completely different station in mind, but I still put this in the game. Meaning this station also gives you a 25% health boost. 100% working. As you can see, you lose health, but that's about 4/5 filled, which would be about 100 over 125. Yes. Space. The final frontier. This station was released amongst the Obby update, and it is currently the one station in which you can have the highest yield of coins, with a total of about 7 overall. One from the station actually giving it to you automatically, and one from beating it twice. You can beat it twice. I've done it before. I've done it many times before. Well, I think I got it. There, I got it. This station was inspired, I don't know how. Italy throws pasta at you. You have to fight Italy. I have no clue why I made this. I have no clue why it exists. But you know what? You fight Italy. And isn't that all we need in life? This is currently one of the largest stations in the Daily Commute. Also, if the developers in the game, the soldiers are replaced with the Caesar or something. Also, if you go in here, you can see that there is a thing that says how Romans are made. It's the part that actually produces the soldiers. There's also apparently some unanchored parts that I was not aware of. Well, somebody's gonna have to fix that. This station, there's not much going on here. This is the hobo barrel that Hobo Joe has, and that building is called Homeless Joseph and Affiliates Incorporated, as, if you remember, that is the exact same company that owns the vacuum cleaner Herbert Hoover. Oh, also, this marks the first appearance of the Daily Commute car. One car which is not well built, but it's good enough for me, and I like it. It has a charm to it. Ah yes, the record store. Let me explain all the references here. This is a plant named Robert. It's a reference to Robert Plant. Albums marked down in the 90215 each. That's a reference to the Yes album 90215. Dark Knopfler Speakers is a reference to the guitarist Mark Knopfler, as you could tell by its notable red bandana. Door Free to a Loving Family is a reference to the Doors. The Salesman here is a reference, or may not be a reference, to the Kids in the Hall skit Into the Doors. As you can tell, if you are one of the 3 people on the list, you are able to buy Waiting for the Sun by the Doors, which was featured in the video. In the microwave, if the developer is in the game, the noob becomes Hobo Joe. If you look outside, you can see we've got to install microwave ovens. Some dude with a funny bandana. That is a reference to the Dire Straits song Money for Nothing. Ah yes, this station. This is the first up and direct Hobo Joe reference that we have. The underground pickle market, I don't know what it's referencing, but it is implied that it has been foreclosed. The menu on the food truck actually is what the girl sells. Girl sells food with funny descriptions. In this station, this is the only station to actually reuse music. This sign also over here with a stack of green cars says, "Boss makes $1, I make a dime, that's why I stack green cars on company's time." This station has one of the worst soundtracks of any station in the Daily Commute, really going on a competition with the food truck. Here's what the signs say. "The road that takes you somewhere that isn't here, 1/4 mile. Don't worry, Cleveland is now long gone. Play the Daily Commute. Bro, who invented Baltimore? I just want to talk to them." And this sign says Pennsylvania is gone. Also, it is very possible to beat the station. I just did. And if you do, you get 4 coins. So, yay, compensation. If you follow where I go in the maze, you can arrive at a bush. You can take it, and you get a bush. This is one of my least favorite levels. This was initially going to be a World War II level, but then I realized who we were supposed to be fighting, and I realized that I didn't want to get in those muddy waters. So instead, you're just fighting Russians, Turks, and Austrians. This is one of my favorite stations. First, the center has TDC in reference to the Daily Commute. Each crate has a unique message. You'll see this a lot later on. This crate here is a reference to a Yes album, Fragile, not 90215. Over here is a grave. Here lies the genuine Moogie's hopes, his dreams, and ambitions. That's where my dreams lie. In the circus. I mean, just let that sink in. My dreams are dead in a circus. Just think about it. This station's a fun one. This is a fan favorite station, if I'm correct.
Attention daily commuters, it seems that the train has broken down. Please remain calm as we try to fix the issue. Thank you, and have a good day.
This is just a goofy, fun little station in which you are a part of a TV show being recorded. Ooh, spooky. The Daily Commute. Ah, there's nothing much to say about this level in particular. I mean, it's just kind of Tetris. I don't know. Oh god, this one's gonna be a doozy. Alright, let's get started. That Christmas tree is a reference to the Christmas event, which had that same Christmas tree in the lobby. That is a reference to Roger Taylor dressing up as a girl in the Queen music video I Want to Break Free. The Baby is a reference to a genuine moody game called The Baby. Meme Hangout is a reference to a genuine moody game called Meme Hangout. The Daily Commute is a reference to, of course, The Daily Commute. Just a Bunch of Pearl Jam is a reference to the item Pearl Jam, which I don't think anybody owns except me. This is a reference to me offering to do a face reveal at 1,000 visits, and we have been at 1,200 visits for a few months and nobody mentioned it, so I'm not going to do it. Why is this giving me a gun? This is a reference to the Bret Hart short story Outcasts of Poker's Flat. This crazy reference to Ghost of Christmas Past from Arsenal. The origin of album pictures is actually quite interesting. I know where they originate from. The Krebs cycle is a reference to the Krebs cycle, which is photosynthesis related. If you've ever taken high school biology and I gave you a PTSD flashback, I'm sincerely sorry. Lewis structures are references to Lewis structures, which is how atom compound molecule things are. This is a reference to... You know what? If you could tell me what this is a reference to, I'll give you many coins. This is a reference to the fact that the Daily Commute has 0.48 minutes average retention player time, which kind of sucks. This creates a reference to the placeholder image that sometimes graces stuff. This is a reference to the poem by the author who just slips my mind, Miniver Chivi. And this Richard Corey is also a reference to the exact same author poet guy and the Simon and Garfunkel song. I did 2 birds with 1 stone there. Isn't that cool? Every member of Leonard Skinner's is a reference to Leonard Skinner. I don't know what else to say there. This is a reference to Highmark Stadium in Buffalo, New York. I actually just realized this is my first reference to Buffalo, New York, isn't it? I think that's it. Let's do some of the items. Everything on the back of the Rust Belt album is a reference to something related to the actual real-life Rust Belt. I could just label them in post-editing. I don't care about naming all of them right now. I have 712 copies of Waiting for the Sun. If you were to buy any of the 4 clothes that the Genuine Moody has made, he will give you a cork gun. Cool. You only have to buy 1 of the 4 of the Revolutionary War clothes. They're worth 10 Robux a piece. The developer has a special brick called Rogerina Brick. The developer also has Beatles. The story behind who owned the Beatles and at what moments in time is very interesting. There was once 3 people who owned the Beatles. One opted out of the Beatles for himself, and the other one I took from because he never played. Anyways, okay, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be referencing this, but this is the stupidest item in the Daily Commute, and that's saying something. So, if you've caught up on your Daily Commute lore, you would know that there was an event a while back in about August where the winner would be able to get their own custom item into the game. The winner was Nick4560 O'Neill by a long shot, so I asked him, what do you want in the game? And he says, this man actually says, a hammer. That grows. And shrinks. This is what he said. I had to make this. This is not what I agreed to when I signed up to be a Roblox developer. I didn't know I'd be having to make stupid stuff like that. Oh, probably the last developer Easter egg. If you, everybody has normal name tags except the Genuine Moody's. His is Rainbow. It's cool. Why am I referring to myself in the third person? I sound like a Star Wars fan. Anyways, not many people know this place exists, but it exists. The AFK Cafe. This mainly centers around Pearl Jam, as in the thing. As you can see, it is just a vanity item pretty much. This is a reference to Hobo Joe. This is a reference to, talk about that. This is a reference to the Rust Belt album. This is a reference to the State Sanctioned Food album. These are the clothes that I made that made me such a big profit. I made them in MS Paint. I don't know how they got so big. With another reference. If you tell me what this reference is referencing, I'll give you coins. But the Pearl Jam is a reference to the, old Seattle grunge band Pearl Jam, and by old I mean 90s. This is a reference to the Italy boss fight. This is what Google Translate says is the Daily Commute. If you pull out here, you can see, hey, that's the dude from Nirvana. I think that's a Beavis and Butthead reference. I'm not sure. The doormat says pound salt. Also, finally, if you click the credits button in the menu, you can see there is me and Hobo Joe. I don't know why Hobo Joe is in the credits. He didn't do anything. There's also a changelog, which is not updated ever. And I mean it never updated. I never updated it. It still has the old UI. Okay, I think that's just about it. That's about every Daily Commute reference hidden Easter egg thing that I could find. So, yeah, played Daily Commute.